Over the years, we have commemorated our Founders' Day by recognizing a person, an event, or an object that is important to our church history. We've also celebrated with written accounts, with a history book every 25 years, and we even performed a play for our 175th anniversary that was written by those in our church back in 1938. So, on this day, as we celebrate our 185th year as a church, I want to highlight an object that everyone has seen in our sanctuary many, many times, and yet might not know much about it. 80 years ago, a longtime member of our church, Bayard H. Christie, passed away. Mr. Christie was a member for 32 years and faithful to the ministry of the Sewickley Presbyterian Church. In our 1988 history book, he was described as someone who was universally revered in his daily Christian life and within the church family. Besides being loved and a respected member of our church, Bayard Christie was a lawyer by trade and an avid bird watcher and expert, for which he was nationally recognized. He lived his entire life in the Christie House. Many of you probably know where this house is. It's about a 5-minute walk from our church on the corners of Frederick Avenue and Walnut Street. The year following his death in 1943, Margaret Campbell, the daughter of William Oliver Campbell, the 4th pastor of our church, gifted and dedicated our communion table to Mr. Christie. Most noticeable on the table are the 6 apostles carved into the front of the table. Have you ever noticed them? The east side of the table was designed with Mr. Christie in mind. If you look closely, you will see St. Francis of Assisi surrounded by his beloved birds in recognition of Bayard's love of birds. Engraved below St. Francis reads, Bayard H. Christie, 1872 to 1943. On the west side of the table, there is a carved image of St. Martin of Tours, depicting him giving his cloak to a beggar. And the carving below reads, and I will give the morning star. In the Bible, at John 12:21, it states, so these came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, and said to him, Sir, we would see Jesus. This statement is carved in the back of our communion table, an ever-present reminder of who we strive to be most like in our lives. At our 100-year anniversary gathering, Mr. Christie stated, this is a house of prayer, the gateway to the eternal. To this place, the paths of many have returned again and again, in baptism, in confession, and in death. Here is the place of contrition. Here anger is laid aside. Here resolution is formed. Here anxious hearts have found peace. Heavy hearts, hope, and glad hearts have given thanks. In the coming days, I encourage you to spend some time walking around our table to see the carvings that I've shared with you. Bayard Christie and our communion table have been companions with each other and with us for almost 80 years. Happy Founders' Day.